Hi Katie, just seeing you darling. I promised you I'd do you this week. So yeah, for the back strengthening, it's kind of taking things back to basics again. So even when you're doing a roll down, think about kind of, you want to mobilise the spine. So chin to chest, and then just keep your feet relatively wide. Take the hips back and the weight forward. So you just want to be gently, I'm not sure I'll get through this babe without running to the legs. Gently, so just slowly down. If you have the legs too straight, it pulls on the back again. You don't have to go all the way. Take a breath in at the bottom. And again, breath in. And softly up. So maybe do that 2 or 3 times. When you get to the knees, you can then do that cow pose in standing, which can feel good. Breath in. And then start moving from the tailbone. So rounding. And again. Feels so good. More. So just to get the joints lubricated, and then gently up. I'll probably do maybe 2 or 3 then. And then just obviously some little pelvis circles. So it's about kind of strengthening the back, but when you're feeling in pain, you kind of want to mobilise and stretch it. You don't really want to do strength work until it feels better. Once it feels better, then obviously you do want to start doing strength work. So we're just going to take a softness in the knee again, hips back, gently down. And we're talking about plank, how tough you find plank. So there's loads of prep plank stuff you can do. So if you just take your hands slightly, so again in this position, if you feel like it, you can do some nice rolling cats again. Sorry, cat to cow, or cow to cat as I just did. Or you can do some rolling ones where you're kind of taking the hips side to side, because we carry a lot of tension, particularly if it's kind of like your sacroiliac joint or the QL muscles. So again, just round, just circle, and back. So again, they just feel really nice and just give you some relief. So because we've just done class, I can feel that everything's a bit tight on me. You can then just take one leg back and then the other leg back. I'm not going to make you keep in plank, I'm just going to take you up. You can do like a long downward dog, like that, where you probably won't get the heels down. Or you can bring the hands back, take the hips much higher and do a shorter downward dog, and just gently start. So a lot of the time lower back can come from tight legs. Sometimes it can be from the posterior part of the body, the hammies. Sometimes it can be from hip flexors. So just a couple of those, and then walk it back. And then to do some prep plank, if you don't want to do that full one, make sure you're not dropping, because this is what happens. The breastbone drops and automatically the bum wants to go as well. So you want to think about, you've just had a big Sunday dinner, so let your belly go, and then the back drops, and then draw the tummy in. And just hold that position. You're not doing a great deal, I know, but you're just trying to hold the navel in towards the spine. Or lift the legs. Now, the higher you lift the knees, the easier the exercise. The lower you take the knees, the harder. The higher, the easier. And you might just do 10 seconds and then feel like you want to have a little shell stretch. But if your back's aching, cat to cow and shell or child's pose, whichever way, either with a closed knee or with big toes together, knees out wide, are just so gorgeous. And then gently back up. You can always do a forearm plank as well. So again, you want to look down towards the mat, slide the shoulders down, draw the tummy in, and again just lifting up on the knees. Some people do this and then never progress to full plank. It doesn't matter. You're just trying to draw the navel in towards the spine. There's no point doing full plank if it's going to pull on your back. Yes, full plank, you want your heels pushing down towards the floor. But like I said, don't feel bad that you're doing this. It's better to feel that you can hold it without compromising the back. And just keep drawing the tummy in. And then just gently down. Have a little windscreen wipe again, which can feel really nice. So it's important that we work our body kind of prone like this, and obviously in our sort of side laying position and our supine. Another good one, just because I think we're picking little ones up, and if you think about the SI joint area, kind of the dimples of your lower back, after babies, big babies, there's a lot of pressure on there. So it's quite nice to get a bit of strength in the upper back as well. So exercises like this are good. So you have to really think about the setup, Katie. So push the pubic bone down into the mat. You draw, imagine you've got something hot on the belly button and you're drawing your belly button away. So I'm imagining that running water can get underneath my tummy or a piece of A4 paper. Slide the shoulders down, length through the crown of the head. Keep drawing the belly in, and you're literally just lifting your head and your chest away. But you're really focusing on squeezing the navel in towards the spine. You might feel like you want a little bit of glute activation as well. And then lower back down. Little. Yeah, there's loads of exercises in prone. Really good for posture, really good if you've been crouched over kids all day or a computer. So you can push the pubic bone down, draw the belly in again, slide the shoulders down and just lift into that. Hold. Or you can really think about elongating one hand out, back to centre, the other, back to centre, both together, back in and lower. And then just have a little. So obviously you'd want to do 3 or 4 of these, not just one. I just want to show you that, darling, the type of things that you need to be doing. And then kind of side work is so important. So we've got our superficial abdominal muscles, our rectus abdominis muscles, then we've got our transverse that wrap around, and our obliques. So for a prep kind of plank position, you can just think, so you don't want to be squashing down, so you want to lift almost like you are. Imagine like a crane or something, and it's pulling you up. So you've got a big gap between ear and shoulder. You want to lift, kind of keep the hips level and just hold. That would be like your prep position, just trying to, as though it's not a nice image, as though you've got like an overhang. And you're just pulling up and just hold again. Be careful that the shoulder's not back there or too far forward. It's generally in line with the hip bone. And then you can take the top leg long. Try and double up your mat. I can feel this a little bit on my hip bone and my great trochanter. So you just lift up. And again, hold. So you're really lifting that bottom waist. These are not easy. And then gently back down. Yeah, draw the tummy in. And again, lift. Big gap between ear and shoulder. Lift, hold. And gently down. Yeah, and just for ease, not ease, for like consistency, continuity. So again, elbow in line. So you have to get Harriet, not Harriet. No, she would be a prodigy if she could do this. Dylan, not Dylan, Freddie. So again, draw the tummy in and you can just lift. Hold like this or straighten the top leg and lift. Hold. And just build it up. You might do 10 seconds times 3, and then you might build up to hold it to like about 30. Just keep your shoulders just down. Anything that we've talked about, you know all about side leg again. Anything that kind of works through the glutes will support the back. So side glute work, really, really important. You know about these, so I'm not going to make you do them. Yeah, but anything to do with that kind of work. Forwards, backs, trying to keep the tummy super level. You can take the legs slightly back of the midline and drop and lift. And you want to be doing maybe 3 sets of 10, something like that. So they're good ones. On the side, there's probably on my YouTube there loads of ones if you look through that talk about improving lower back strength. 4-point kneeling, again, really good one to do. So you want to just, again, draw the tummy in, really feel that strength, and then glide your right hand forwards and your left hand back. And then just lift. Not too high, you want to keep that leg not too high so that the pelvis is in neutral. Keep the core engaged and gently back in. And then the other side, keep the core engaged, slide, hold. And back in. Really be very strict with yourself. There's no point doing this. Yeah. You can progress from there, or not progress, but a slightly different one where you go up and actually use the core strength to draw the tummy in and round the back into like a cat. And then lift. Keep the neck looking down. Round, forward, round, forward. Maybe 6 to 8 on one side. Yeah, and then back. And then again, have a nice little rest. So there's quite a few stuff on YouTube. It's just finding the right one. If I have a little kind of, if my brain works all right. Tomorrow, actually, I've got a Pilates class in the morning, so they often like to do things for lower back health. I'll send you the video to my Pilates class. It's slower than what we do, but it just marries up with the cardio things really, really well. Once you learn to move the spine and connect, then everything else comes a lot easier. The other things is taking yourself really back to that neutral position. So if you lie on your back and do some, because we need to keep the core strength, and do some kind of pelvic tilts forward and back. So remember that tray of drinks on the tummy, we want it to be still. Length through the crown of the head. There's obviously lovely bridges that you can do that will mobilise the spine. So all these kind of ones, if you want to try them first. Again, just to get that lovely lubrication of the discs. Strengthening the back. Bridge is brilliant, Katie. It's one of my favourite. I don't know why we didn't do this morning actually. So you gently roll into imprint. Start lifting up. You're only coming as far as your shoulder blades. You can do all kinds of work here. You can kind of just from tuck the tailbone. I'll show you like that. So just squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Lower back down. Yes, the bridge is good. Obviously have a couple of little squeezes in. I'll show you some lovely back stretches at the end. But for strength into your abdominals, so once you've found that neutral spine, there's a couple of things you can do. I'll take my hands out. You want them there really, but just so you can see better on the video. So there's a couple of things you can, because what we don't want to do is the hips move east to west, yeah, or 3 to 9. And the pubic bone and belly button don't move north to south or 6 to 12. We want it all. So if you think about it sort of here, this diamond shape has been a bit like a clock face, and you want it nice and neutral. So we're just going to hold like that. Draw the tummy in, keep the ribs engaged so everything is still, and then just gently lift the right heel ever so slightly, like half an inch or something, and then just take the leg forward. And then slowly back in. Imagine that you've got £1 million on it and there's no shifting anywhere. So I'll show you from this side. So draw the tummy in. I'm not sure I'd get the million. Push the ribs down and then forward. So the abdominals are staying connected, the navel's staying to spine, the ribs are keeping down. Don't lift, don't shift side to side. It's harder than it looks. What you really want to do is this kind of thing, and it will do nothing. Yeah, so keep everything still. You can do kind of hip to the side as well, so you can kind of do this one. Imagine like a shining light up to the ceiling. The hip bones are on the ceiling, and again you're just taking one leg out to the side, drawing the belly in. How far can you go without shifting? Yeah, so just gently back to centre. The other way. centre. I very rarely take things back to basics now, and it's actually hard. But I kind of know what I'm doing, so I know what it's supposed to feel like, so hopefully it makes sense this. Obviously then you can progress. I don't even know if it is a progression this, but the book says in and out. Again, just one leg. But the idea is everything keeps totally still. And then back to centre. And then again without shifting with the other leg. And centre. Yeah, and then obviously the progression is rib cage down, navel to spine. You want a little gap underneath your lumbar spine. But don't feel in a rush to get onto that. So they're good as well. There was one other one. Yeah, you can do kind of hands underneath the head, interlink the fingers again. Often this is done incorrectly, so a lot of people when they do chest lift, they do this. One, they bring their elbows in, and two, they close the lower back onto the mat. So you start in neutral, so neutral spine, pubic bone, belly button and hip bones are level. You've got a little gap underneath the lump, but the rib cage is in and together. You chin to chest and you lift, and you try and lift onto the bottom of the scapula and lower, only to the tip of the scapula, so don't bring the head back down. Lift and lower. So the only part of my body that's really moving is the upper body. Yeah, I'm not going. Yeah. So again, chin to chest. Good, well done. And again, have a little hug in. The other nice one to do. So you need to think about rib closure all the time. So what happens sometimes when people take arms overhead, their ribs go with them. So keep your ribs in and down. You can do like dead bug. So again, draw the tummy in. And you don't have to go very far, just to kind of there. Again, thinking about that imaginary tray of drinks. Keeping level. You might want to go higher at first, and then the stronger you get, sorry, wrong one. No, that's right. You might get lower. But this might feel a little bit too tough to start with, so you might want to do one. Keep ribs down. Lower. So slow wins the race there. You will feel like your back's kicking in because once you do all your abdominal exercises correctly, your back and your glute work, then obviously it's the whole of the, kind of like a corset effect. So now's the nice bit. These are the ones that you said felt lovely. So you glue your legs together and you just want to take some supine spine stretches, side to side. Maybe do 6 to 8, and then keep into the stretch. And this is when we've had our tummy all connected. Now we're going to let it relax. So we'll stretch the back more on a belly breath. So inhale, let the belly rise. Out breath. Inhale, let the belly rise. Out breath. Back to centre. The other side. Inhale, let the belly rise. Out breath. 2 more. Beautiful, well done. And then that other one, so lengthen one leg, opposite hand, and you're just gently coming over. You might not want to go all the way. You might just want to go to there if you're really tired. And again, stretching all this area here. Beautiful. Back to centre, the other side. You just have to commit. A couple of weeks ago, Katie, you went here, I pulled my back. I've never ever done it in my life. And I really realise how people feel. And I've just basically bridged, I've done cat to cow for about 5 days. I cancelled a couple of sort of strength classes. And I just really kind of looked after my body by just stretching. And it feels back to normal. And then you can have some little rolls. So I hope that's helped, sweetheart. Didn't want to bombard you with stuff. But yeah. And then once you feel better, it's kind of moving into just a little bit of a flow. So like maybe into a downward dog, into a plank, knees down, elbows back, chaturanga, upward dog. Back. And then just gently walking it back. And up we go. I always like to finish with a da-da-da-da. And yeah, I'm sure there's a much more grown up way of playing in the living, but it's very nice. Alright, take care, sweet. Bye.